She's the funniest one.
Okay.
I'm used to it.
Welcome everyone to our Liar Liar reading. Thank you for joining us. I have an amazing cast with me here tonight. To my left, at least from my perspective, which way? That way? It doesn't matter. Is Jeremy. He's going to play Virginia Cole and also Jerry, the nicest guy in the world. So fitting for Jeremy.
Aw.
We've got Logan playing Judge Stevens, probably the most patient judge in film history. We've got Curtis playing my son Max, who is the reason for this whole movie happening. Very neglected child. We have Jessica playing my ex-wife Audrey. You know, once Jessica starts talking, you'll see why we divorced. JK.
That's why I got half of everything.
That's right. And then we got Rudy playing a whole bunch of people, including Dana, the other attorney, and also Miss Barry, Max's teacher, very nice teacher. We have Travis playing a whole host of people as well, including like the homeless guy, Jennifer Tilly's husband, and a lot of other fun roles. We've got Eric, of course, right on time doing the scene description. Also playing some other people for us, but lots of important roles. We've got Paul, of course, playing Miranda, the kind of mean woman that works at the office. I've had better. And also, last but not least, we have Kate playing Greta, the very patient secretary, as well as some other people in the office and some fun other roles. So yeah, Eric, whenever you're ready, take it away, my friend.
Liar, liar. Interior Fulgham Kindergarten, Wednesday morning. 24 kindergartners listen to their teacher, Miss Barry. The word work is on the blackboard.
Work. Today, we're going to share what our parents do for work.
Quick cuts of a series of 5-year-olds standing beside their desks, addressing the class.
My dad is a truck driver.
My mommy's a doctor.
My dad's a librarian and my mom's a vegetarian.
My father is a structural engineer.
Kelly, what the hell? My daddy works at a place where they make stuff. My mommy's a mommy.
My father is a postal worker.
The quick cuts end with Max.
My mom's a teacher.
As Max starts to sit.
And your dad?
My dad? He's a liar.
A liar? I don't think you mean a liar.
Well, he wears a suit and goes to court and talks to the judge and...
Oh, I see. You mean he's a lawyer.
Max shrugs. Interior courtroom day. Fletcher Reed, the star of this movie, early 30s, stands before the judge. His manner is utterly genuine and convincing.
A dark street, a stormy night, 2 desperate men struggle. One man is taken to the hospital, the other to jail. The prosecutor wants you to believe this is an open and shut case of a poor man brutally victimized.
He nods at the victim, a fragile old man in his 70s.
Well, for once, I agree with the prosecutor. This is an open and shut case, but the true victim is my client.
Fletcher's client is a 250-pound brute in a suit.
Put yourself in his shoes for a moment. You're walking from church alone in one of the toughest parts of the suburbs.
As he describes his client's movements, Fletcher acts them out.
You're nervous, timid, looking over your shoulder, when suddenly you encounter him, bouncing from the shadows. The streetlight flashes on something shiny in his hand. No time to think.
Suddenly, Fletcher makes slashing motions with the shiny object. The jurors recoil.
In that terrifying instant, you do what any respectable citizen would. You defend yourself. Only after you shatter his arm and collarbone do you realize it's all a mistake. The man was merely walking away from an ATM machine. The apparent flash of metal caused by his bank card.
He reveals the weapon in his hand is only a credit card.
You stand over his crumpled, though potentially still dangerous form. Your heart goes out to him. You want to help. First, you gather up the many bills he dropped to stop them from blowing away. Second, in an effort to get the name of someone to notify, you take his wallet, fully intending to return it. You leap into the man's Lexus to head for assistance, when suddenly a police car speeds up. You breathe a sigh of relief. Oh, joy, help has finally arrived. But do the police applaud your initiative? Are you praised for your heroism? No. You're thrown to the ground, forcibly cuffed. Your rights are not read to you, but shouted at you in a very hostile tone. Now ask yourself, at this point, do you have any choice but to lash out blindly at your attacker?
Fletcher points accusingly to the quote-unquote attacker, a female cop with a fat lip.
Woman or no woman, you put those guns on you, they become a threat, a loose cannon, and possibly, from my client's perspective, the deadly enforcer of a police state. I only wish someone had strolled by with a camcorder at that glorious moment in the history of our, quote, democracy. No wonder people are afraid to reach out and help each other. I don't want to get involved, that's what they say. My client tried, and what did he get? All this.
Fletcher leans over the jury box, makes eye contact with an elderly female juror, wearing a crucifix.
I'm reminded of the story of the Good Samaritan, Luke 10, verse 25. The message of that story was, reward those who help their neighbors. What message will you send?
Fletcher returns to his seat. The old woman is visibly moved. Exterior courthouse afternoon. Fletcher bounds down the stairs. He passes a fellow lawyer.
How'd it go, Fletcher?
Nothing but net, my friend.
Fletcher's huge client catches up, removes his sport coat, revealing muscular arms and violent-looking tattoos. Mr. Reed, you want this stuff back?
I'm sure you'll be needing them again.
A publicist carrying a clipboard approaches Fletcher.
Mr. Reed, do you have a moment?
No, I'm sorry, I'm late. It's my day to be with my son.
Oh, because a couple of reporters want to interview you about your big win today.
Fletcher instantly shifts directions.
How's my hair?
And he's off to woo several reporters. Exterior suburban porch afternoon. A sad Max and his mother Audrey wait silently on the steps.
What time is it?
I'm sure he just got tied up in court again.
Finally, Fletcher pulls up. Max races to him, delighted. Fletcher jumps out of the car and grabs Max, wrestling.
Dad.
Maximilian! How you doing, little buddy?
Good.
Yeah, me too, except this arm has really been bothering me. It's as if it's had a mind of its own.
Oh no, Dad.
I'm becoming the Claw!
Fletcher tickles Max like crazy.
Run, boy, run, save yourself. No one can stop it.
Max playfully takes cover behind Audrey.
Claw to Mom, Dad. Do the Claw to Mom.
Audrey shakes her head with "Don't even try it" look.
Oh, the Claw's only weakness. Sub-zero temperatures. Yip, yip, yip.
Fletcher, you're 45 minutes late.
I know, I'm sorry. Next time somebody's car breaks down, they can just wait for AAA. I must have jumper cables written all over me.
Hey, Mom. Dad's taking me to see wrestling.
Oh, Fletcher,
Oh, Audrey.
do you have to take him to those things? They're so violent.
Fletcher imitates the familiar voice. Old Indian chief Dan George.
The young boy must grow to be a warrior. Who better to guide him than Vic Rude and Randy Macho Man Savage in the cage of death?
Audrey and Max can't help but laugh.
He must learn the sleeper hold, the pile driver, and the purple nurple, for only then
Shut up.
the squaw will never understand us.
A horn honks. It's the good-natured, affable Jerry. Max runs up to him.
Max, my man.
Oh, good.
Max gives
Fletcher, good to see
Jerry,
you.
Max 5. Yep. Jerry kisses Audrey on the lips.
What, no kiss for me?
Maybe a goodbye kiss. I'm moving to Boston Saturday.
Jerry got a scouting job with the Red Sox.
Cool.
Hey, look what I got for you. Major League approved.
Wow.
Let's toss a few. I want to show you the famous Jerry Shelton curveball.
Fletcher grits his teeth as he watches Jerry run off with Max.
I didn't know the boyfriend was moving.
Jerry. His name is Jerry, and yes, he's moving.
Audrey goes to her car. Fletcher follows.
I'm sorry. I hated him a lot less than your other boyfriends. It wasn't serious, was it?
Semi-serious.
You guys aren't, you know, Ugh, ugh.
I've been seeing him 7 months. What do you think?
Really? I was hoping that after being married to me, you'd have no more strength left.
Well, you have to remember when we were married, I wasn't having sex nearly as often as you were.
Ooh, and the ref takes a point away.
Ready? We don't want to be late for our reservation.
Audrey and Jerry say goodbye to Max. They get in his Explorer.
Bye, Max. We'll pick you up in the morning.
And they drive off.
Bye. Bye-bye. Good luck with your compromise. You driving?
Max rolls his eyes. Exterior Audrey's interior BMW day. Fletcher is driving, Max beside him.
Dad, aren't we going to go to wrestling?
Absolutely, Max Factor. We just have to stop by the office, or just for 1 minute.
Max sighs. He's heard this before. Exterior skyscraper afternoon, establishing the headquarters of Allen, Stewart, and Koenigsberg. As they head inside, Fletcher and Max pass a beggar.
Excuse me, sir. Did you have any change?
I'm all out. Sorry.
Liar. Interior skyscraper lobby afternoon. Fletcher grabs the Daily Journal, pays for it with a handful of change. Wow. His son takes this in. Fletcher whistles, walks on. They are soon spotted by Philip, a dweebish boor. He runs after them.
Fletcher,
Philip.
is this the famous Max?
Yeah, it is.
You know, my son's Max's age. We should have them play together.
Absolutely. Well, it was good seeing you.
Fletcher continues on with Max when Philip calls after him.
You know, Ethel and I had a blast at our last little get together.
Oh, yeah, me too. It was amazing. I was getting pretty good at those charades. We'll have to do it again sometime. We should.
Fletcher heads into an open elevator, only to find the doors closing, impeded by Philip's foot.
When?
Soon.
The door again begins to close when Philip again stops it.
How about tonight?
Oh, tonight I'm taking Max to see wrestling.
We love wrestling. We could go down there with you.
No, you can't. It's totally sold out, isn't it, Max? Yeah, it's sold out. Maybe next time. Tell you what, give me your card as a reminder. I'll call you soon. Promise.
Great.
Philip hands him his card just as the door closes.
Great. This is excellent.
Interior elevator afternoon. Max watches as his father breathes a huge sigh of relief, then tears the card up. Interior Miranda's office, where a troubled Fred Rand is talking to Miranda, a beautiful, steely partner.
I can't do it.
Fred, it's your duty to present the strongest case possible.
The strongest case possible, consistent with the truth.
Let the judge decide what's true. That's what he gets paid for. You get paid to win.
If you insist on my taking it to trial, I'll present Mrs. Cole aggressively, aesthetically, but Miranda, I won't lie.
Miranda looks out her window, calculating.
Then we'll just have to find someone who will.
Interior reception area of law offices afternoon. The elevator doors open, revealing Fletcher, who exits and tosses Philip's card in a garbage can. Max walks aside him. Reception area continuous. The receptionist, Jane, greets him. Jane has an odd hairdo, like a bad Rosanna Donna.
Hi, Mr. Reed.
Whoa, hey, did you do something to your hair?
Yeah, it's too short, isn't it?
No, I mean, that's the thing nowadays, right? Isn't that the thing?
He said it would frame my face good.
That's exactly what it does. It totally frames your face. I'm just going to go in the office.
Fletcher covers a laugh by clearing his throat in an exaggerated manner. Jane watches him walk away, looks slightly suspicious, but lets it go. Interior hallway of all offices afternoon. Fletcher strides through the hallway with Max, calling out greetings to his colleagues.
Hey, Pete, did you lose a little weight?
Pete is corpulent.
I don't know, maybe.
Looks and personality, double threat man.
Another colleague calls out to Fletcher.
Hey, Mr. Reed.
Hey, man.
It's Randy.
I know.
A guy with a notepad and a huge white head zit turned to Fletcher.
Taking lunch orders, Mr. Reed. Anything?
Oh, God. Fletcher tries to not to stare at his nose. Oh.
I'm full from breakfast.
Okay, great.
Fletcher arrives at his office. We meet his secretary, the 50-ish worldly wise and world-weary Greta.
Max, what's new?
Well, it's my birthday tomorrow. We're having a party and everything.
Fletcher's eyes widen. He has clearly forgotten.
I'm sure your dad got you something wonderful.
Fletcher tries to wave her off, awkwardly stopping when Max turns to him.
Yeah?
Yeah, you bet. Why don't you play in my office for a minute? Go fax something. Sue somebody for everything they got. We'll be leaving in a second.
Max heads into the office. Fletcher closes the door behind him.
Damn, I completely forgot.
Oh, there's a surprise.
Greta produces an already wrapped gift.
Oh, you're a saint. I should get you something.
You did.
She holds up another smaller package.
Ah, well, I always do the classy thing. Any calls?
She hands him a stack of mail.
Let's see. Judge Patterson's clerk, he needs your filing.
Tell him it's in the mail.
Right. You'll do it next week. Mr. McKinley phoned to confirm your meeting tomorrow.
Strep throat? No, some kind of virus. What's going around?
Asian flu.
Great.
Your mother called.
I'm on vacation.
This is your 5th week.
Snowed in, phones are down.
Break mother's heart. Done. And that's it. Except Miranda's looking for you.
As if I don't have anything better to do than bow and scrape at her royal feet. How much ass do I have to kiss to make partner in this damn place? Tell her I broke my leg and had to be shot.
Why don't you tell her yourself?
Oh my God, this movie just predicted the future. As Miranda approaches, Fletcher switches gears in an instant.
And then send out a notice of judgment on my win today.
I'll get right on it.
Fletcher turns and pretends to be surprised.
Miranda! Hey, I didn't see you. You look beautiful today. Here, I brought you a gift.
He grabs Greta's gift and, oh my God, and hands it to Miranda.
Thanks. I heard about your victory. You're making quite an impression on the partnership committee.
Oh, that's right. You folks are meeting again soon. I've just been keeping myself so busy I haven't even thought about it. Just work and sleep, work and sleep. But that's how I am when I feel appreciated. Anyway, I've got a client in my office. Better not keep him waiting.
Actually, something important has come up. You're not busy tonight, are you?
Before Fletcher answers, we cut to interior Fletcher's office evening. A sad Max sits on the Fletcher's big sofa. Fletcher enters carrying 2 boxes of documents. Max knows what that means.
We're not going, are we?
Of course we are. A promise is a promise.
Interior wrestling arena night. An animated wrestling match in progress. The crowd cheers wildly.
Dad, look!
Fletcher is totally focused on a legal file.
I'm watching. Woo, yeah, kill him.
One wrestler flies out of the ring into the seats. The other wrestler beats him right next to Fletcher.
Dad, you're missing it.
Hold on.
Fake blood spurts across one of Fletcher's documents. He gets mad, wipes the page with his sleeve.
Damn it.
As the fight continues, push in on Max. Sad. Interior restaurant evening. Audrey and Jerry are having a romantic dinner.
Don't worry, me and Max will come and visit you over summer break.
Jerry pulls out a small, thin box.
I got you something.
We agreed no goodbye presents.
You agreed. Just open it.
She opens it. It is 2 airline tickets.
2 tickets to Boston for Friday night.
I can't live 3,000 miles away from you and Max. Look, I know it's a lot to ask to move and everything, but I love you. I love your son. Marry me.
Interior Fletcher's apartment morning. Fletcher types on his computer. He's been up all night. He leans back, rubs his eyes, and when he opens them, he sees Max standing there in his pajamas. Fletcher smiles.
Hey, creepy, happy birthday. How old are you, 22, 23?
I'm 5, Dad.
Okay, return the beer keg and cancel the dancing girls. I guess this is all I have for you then.
Max eyes it with wonder.
What is it?
It's a surprise. All right, it's a pony. Just open it.
Max rips the box open, revealing a baseball, glove, Dodgers cap, and full Major League style uniform.
Baseball stuff!
Baseball stuff.
Cool, let's play catch. I'm gonna be Nomo and you could be Jose Canseco, Dad. Can we play that? Can we play?
X beams.
Absolutely. Right after your party tonight, we'll do it. You and me. I just got to really concentrate on this right now.
Max nods sadly as Fletcher turns back to his work. Interior Jerry's car morning. Jerry and Audrey are driving to pick up Max.
If you said yes, we could tell Max right now.
This is just.
I'm sorry. I know I'm rushing you. I have no choice. I'm looking at a new house in Boston this weekend. I want it to be your house too.
I can't just pick up and move to Boston. What about my job? I've been at UCLA 3 years and.
It's New England. They're lousy. They're lousy with colleges. You can't swing a bat back there without hitting a college. You get a job there in a second.
There are other factors. There they are now.
Exterior Fletcher's apartment. They pull up in front of Fletcher's building where Fletcher and Max are waiting. As Audrey gets out of Jerry's car, Max runs over.
Did you have fun? How were the wrestling matches?
Incredibly brutal, intensely violent. I think Max is ready to ride the school bus now.
Max, my man. Happy birthday, man.
Max and Jerry exchange fives and a hug. Jerry gives Max a light punch on the arm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1 for good luck.
He struck the child. Did you see that?
Look what Dad got me.
Whoa, great. I have my glove in the car. We'll stop in the park on the way home and play catch. Then tonight we'll oil it up, wrap a rubber band around it. It'll be great. Great birthday present, Dad.
Thanks, son.
Fletcher hates him. Jerry and Max go to Jerry's car.
I'm so glad my gift could bring those two together. My plan to phase myself out is almost complete.
Something's come up. We need to talk.
Mom, let's go. I want to play.
This is important. Can we talk tonight?
Tonight?
Max's party?
Oh, yeah, sure. Of course. We'll talk then. Great. Hey, Maximus, I'm out of here. Jerry, enjoy my wife. Ah, ha, ha.
Fletcher walks away. Interior, Miranda's office night. Miranda and Fletcher's new client, Virginia Cole, an alluring woman in her early 30s, review a document.
This is good. This is really smart.
Thank you.
Only it's, not true. I mean, isn't that a problem?
Mrs. Cole, the only problem here is that after you've provided years of faithful service and loving support of raising his children, they are his.
Oh, yeah, one for sure.
After all of that, your husband wants to deny you a fair share of the marital assets based on one single act of indiscretion.
7.
Pardon me?
7 single acts of indiscretion.
7 acts of indiscretion, only one of which he has any evidence of, and all of which he himself is responsible for.
He is?
Mrs. Cole, you're the victim here. The wife of a cold, distant businessman, starved for affection, driven into the arms of another man.
7.
Yeah, whatever. You're not trying to deny him what is rightfully his. All you're insisting on is what is rightfully yours, and maybe a fraction more. I think you're bending over backwards.
Well, I did agree to give him joint custody of the kids. He's always been a good father.
And how does he repay you? By dragging you through a painful litigation process. This isn't just about you and Mr. Cole. This is about all women, everywhere. Where would Tina Turner be right now if she had rolled over and said, "Hit me again, I can put some stank on it"? The message she sent was, "Wake up, sisters, there is no such thing as a weaker sex." What message will you send?
Virginia's empowered.
You're right, Mr. Reed. I'm tired of getting kicked around.
Good for you.
I'm so grateful I have an attorney I can trust. Thank you.
She momentarily grabs his ass. With a farewell nod to Miranda, she leaves. Miranda turns, smiles at Fletcher.
You're good. You're really good.
I'm all right.
No, I mean it.
She moves in on him, picks a piece of lint off his jacket.
The Cole case is worth a truckload of money to this firm. If you win this case, I guarantee you'll make partner. In fact, how would you like to make a partner right now?
She pulls him in for a deep kiss. Interior, Audrey and Max's living room night. A party is in progress with kindergartners being entertained by a man in a clown suit and clown makeup.
Captain Fuzzy is my name. Making children happy is my game. With a shake and with a juggle and a big belt buckle, you'll all be glad I came.
He makes a silly noise and flaps down on his back, which causes something in his pants to honk. What the? Audrey and Jerry watch.
What do you think?
Well, if you don't hire your brother, who will?
Interior kitchen. Moments later, Jerry follows Audrey into the kitchen where she prepares the cake.
So have you thought about it?
Yeah. I don't think I can go.
How come?
Max.
He'll love it there. I'll take him to Fenway Park. There's hiking, camping.
It's Fletcher.
Fletcher.
I can't move Max 3,000 miles away from his father.
Audrey, I've never said a bad word about your ex.
I know.
But how much responsibility does Fletcher take for Max now? He'd never come over if you didn't remind him.
I know, but if they're 3,000 miles apart, they'll never even see each other. Fletcher will never come to Boston, and how can I send Max cross country to him?
So because your ex-husband is unreliable, we can't?
I know it's not logical, it's emotional. I'm sorry.
Ring. The phone rings. Audrey answers.
Hello?
Intercut with Interior Miranda's office. Night.
Fletcher, where are you? We've been waiting for you, and Max won't cut the cake till you're here.
Oh man, actually something has come up. I've got this problem on a new car.
What happened?
Nothing. I just stubbed my toe on the desk. Listen, I'm really sorry, but I just can't make it. The boss is really riding me.
Max is going to be so disappointed.
Miranda gets up, starts reeling in the long phone cord. Fletcher follows the receiver, struggling to talk.
I know. I'll make it up to him. I promise. I'll pick him up from school tomorrow. Okay?
You're going to pick him up?
Yes.
All right. Do you want me to put him on the phone?
No, I have to go.
Miranda takes the receiver, hangs up.
Right.
Angrily, Audrey hangs up. Interior Miranda's office. Night. Fletcher stares unhappily at the phone. Then Miranda attacks, throws her legs around him, knocks him back onto the couch. Interior Audrey and Max's dining room. Night. We pan down from banners reading "Happy Birthday, Max" to a now half-filled room of guests, to a desultory 5-year-old. Audrey finishes lighting the candles on the homemade cake.
All right, birthday boy, make a wish.
Max doesn't respond.
Come on, honey, it can be anything. Whatever you want most in the whole world.
When he doesn't respond, she leans down to him.
Max, your dad is sorry. He had to work.
Said he was coming. He promised.
Yes, well, he promises he'll see you tomorrow. He's going to pick you up from school.
Max doesn't believe it. He turns his full attention to the candles on the cake. In voiceover, we hear what she does not.
I wish for this one day, Dad couldn't tell a lie.
He takes a breath and blows out all the candles. A strange wind blows the drapes and wisps of smoke up to the clock on the wall. It's 8:15. Cut to a clock on the wall. It's 8:15. We are Interior Miranda's office. Night. Pan around Miranda's office where the displaced sofa is adorned with Fletcher's clothes. To the floor where a ravished Miranda lies next to Fletcher, superbly confident of the answer she asks.
That was incredible. Was it good for you?
Oh boy. Without thinking, Fletcher responds in the most astonishing way possible. He tells the truth.
I've had better.
Miranda turns to him in disbelief, but it's nothing compared to the look of shock on Fletcher's face. Interior hallway. Outside Miranda's office. Night. The door opens and the naked Fletcher is forcibly kicked out. He tumbles over a desk as a rain of clothes follow. The door slams shut again. Fletcher's left standing, bewildered.
I've had better?
Interior bedroom. Friday morning. An alarm clock rings. Fletcher bolts up in bed. With regret and wonder, he remembers.
I've had better.
Interior. Fletcher's bathroom. Morning. Fletcher brushes his teeth, looks at the reflection in the mirror, mouthful of toothpaste, shaking it off.
I've had better?
Interior hallway of Fletcher's apartment building. Morning. Dressed for work. Fletcher waits for the elevator. It arrives. He steps in. Oh no. Interior apartment elevator. Morning. The elevator is empty except for Fletcher and a beautiful young woman.
Hi. Are you new in the building?
I just moved in Monday.
You like it so far?
Everybody's been really friendly.
Well, that's because you have big jugs. I mean, your boobs are huge. I mean, I want to squeeze them.
Fletcher's face registers extreme shock and interior lobby of apartment building morning. We hear a smack and a ping as the elevator door opens. Mama! The pissed model stands arms folded as a stunned Fletcher stumbles out, rubbing his freshly slapped face with a look of total confusion. Exterior courtroom morning. A shaky Fletcher strides toward the courthouse when he is accosted by a beggar.
Any change, mister?
Absolutely.
But he continues walking.
Could you spare me some?
Yes, I could.
Fletcher walks faster, puzzled that he has answered truthfully. The beggar is even more puzzled.
Will you?
Uh-uh.
How come?
Because I believe you will buy drugs with it. Also, I resent your presence. You fill me with an unpleasant mixture of disgust and guilt. I just want to get from my car to my office without having to witness the depth of your sorrow. Plus, I'm cheap.
Fletcher lets out an exasperated sigh.
Jerk off.
Jerk off. Interior courtroom morning. A worried Fletcher joins Virginia at the respondent's table.
You look like you're having a rough morning.
Ding, ding, ding. What do we have for her, Johnny?
Winces. Then a wealthy, respectable industrialist, Richard Cole, enters with his attorney, Dana Appleton, young, brisk, confident Bubble Boy's mom.
Good morning, Fletcher.
Dana.
All right. All right, Virginia, how much will it take to put an end to this?
50% of your estate.
Fletcher's pleased. That came out okay. Richard's shocked.
50%. With a prenup and proof of adultery? What's your case?
Our case is simply this.
Fletcher opens his mouth to enlighten her, but he can't get the words out.
God.
Tries to force out sounds, but succeeds only in looking like a fish gasping on dry land.
Interesting. Though, based on your track record, I expected a little more.
Nearing panic, Fletcher whirls to his briefcase and grabs the brief.
Wait. It's in writing.
But when Dana tries to take the document, the astonished Fletcher finds himself physically unable to release it.
Let go.
I'm trying.
He involuntarily snatches the document away, crumples it into a wad, and pitches it baseball style toward the back of the room. It bounces off a guard's forehead. He glares at Fletcher. Fletcher mouths the word, "Sorry."
Very funny, Fletcher. You want to play hardball? I'm game.
At this moment, the bailiff calls.
All rise for the Honorable Judge William Stevens.
Honorable.
Fletcher laughs, sees the stenographer looking at him. Fletcher shakes his head as if to say, "Please don't type that, please." Judge Stevens takes the bench.
Calling case BA095, Richard Cole versus Virginia Cole. How are we doing this morning, counsel?
Fine. Thank you.
And you, Mr. Reed.
Fletcher steps forward.
I'm a little upset about a bad sexual episode I had last night.
Fletcher takes a step back, squelching his reaction after an awkward silence.
Well, you're still young. It'll happen more and more. In the meantime, what do you say we get down to business? First, Mr. Reed, I see that your client is previously represented by Mr. Rand of your office.
Yes, Your Honor.
I take it you're seeking to substitute in as counsel?
Yes, Your Honor.
Fine. And for the record, the reason is?
Mr. Rand had major ethical objections to my client's case.
Fletcher sucks air through his teeth. Somehow his greatest asset in the world, his mouth, has become his worst enemy.
I take it you don't share the same ethical objections, Mr. Reed?
Fletcher, trying not to speak, shakes his head. Nope.
I see. Well, if Miss Cole wants a substitution of counsel, I'll allow it. Is that what you want, Miss Cole?
Virginia looks to the judge, then to Fletcher, whose unorthodox style seemed so brilliant earlier.
Yes.
Fine.
What are you doing?
I don't know. Your Honor, I'd like a continuance.
This case has already been delayed several times, Mr. Reed.
I realize that, Your Honor, but I'd really like a continuance.
I'll have to get a good cause, counselor. What's the problem?
Fletcher's POV. The room begins to spin slowly, then faster, until we wind up squarely on Fletcher's face.
I can't lie.
Commendable, Mr. Reed, but I'm still waiting on a good cause. Now, do you have it or not?
Not.
Motion for continuance denied. Is there any chance of a settlement in this case?
I don't think so, Your Honor. Mr. Reed made it abundantly clear that the last thing in the world he wanted was to
Settle.
Dana and Mr. Cole look at Fletcher with surprise.
There appears to have been a change in strategy. Let's go to my chambers and negotiate.
He bangs the gavel. Interior Judge Stevens' chambers morning. Dana and an apprehensive Fletcher sit before the judge.
Your Honor, under the terms of the prenuptial agreement, if Mrs. Cole commits adultery, she is entitled to nothing. We have in our possession an audio tape made by a licensed private investigator of an explicit act of sexual congress with a man who is not her husband.
That's pretty damning, Mr. Reed.
Fletcher's clammy, trying to subdue the monster.
Yeah.
However, my client has no desire to see his ex-wife destitute. Against my advice, he's willing to offer her a cash settlement of $2.4 million.
2-4 seems a pretty fair offer, Mr. Reed.
Fantastically fair. Phenomenally fair.
Fumes.
What are you suggesting, Mr. Reed? That Miss Appleton's willingness to proffer from such an offer betrays a lack of faith in her position?
No, not at all. She's got us right where she wants us. When attorneys go to sleep at night, they dream of having a case as strong as hers.
Can the sarcasm read? All right, I admit it. I've seen you make even the lamest case fly, but this time I have you. Even Clarence Darrow couldn't explain this away.
Brandishes the audio tape.
Well, Mr. Reed, without a dynamite explanation, I'd say you're dead in the water. How's your client's story?
Oh, it's a really good one.
Strong corroborating evidence?
We have evidence that you are not going to believe.
Fight herself. Dana's beginning to look worried.
Pretty confident how this trial is going to come out, eh, Mr. Reed?
Confident is too weak a word, Your Honor. If this goes to trial, the verdict will be a humiliating defeat that will cut a very promising legal career off at the knees.
Fletcher's referring to himself, of course, but Dana thinks he's speaking about her. She buckles.
All right, double the offer. 4.8.
What?
Bastard.
He storms out, leaving an astonished Fletcher behind.
You are some negotiator, Mr. Reed. Client has half a brain, she'll jump at the offer.
No.
We are interior courtroom morning. Fletcher has joined Virginia at the respondent's table.
No. Mrs. Cole, this offer was a miracle. I'm talking about a walk on water, rise from the dead, find no line at the friggin' DMV miracle. You've gone from 2.4 to $4.8 million in 4 minutes.
Mr. Reed, you convinced me yesterday I'm the victim here, starved for affection, driven into the arms of another man.
7.
Yeah, whatever. With the story you came up with, I don't think I can lose. I want to proceed.
Mrs. Cole, you don't understand.
But before Fletcher can finish, the judge enters.
Well, Mr. Reed, do we have a settlement?
Fletcher looks pledgingly at his client, but she's firm.
No.
The judge is irritated.
There is no settlement. Trial to start at 1:30 sharp.
Bangs the gavel. Fletcher emits an involuntary whimper.
Ugh.
Interior law office this morning. Dazed, Fletcher makes exit the elevator. Jane comes toward him in the same hideous hairstyle. She wears a very loud day glow dress.
Hi, Fletcher. Like the new dress?
Whatever takes the focus off your head.
Oh my God, horrified. Fletcher, oh God, not this again. Fletcher hurries on. The heavy-set Pete ambulates in his way.
What's up, Fletcher?
Your cholesterol, fatty. Dead man walking.
Fletcher turns to Randy, the guy whose name he never remembers.
Hey, Fletcher.
Hey, you're not important enough to remember.
Fletcher, panicked, breaks into a run past the guy with the huge zit.
Hey, Mr. Reed, what's gonna be?
A pockmark eventually.
Oh, God. Fletcher just speeds past.
Hi, boss. What's happening with
Don't ask, for God's sake, don't ask.
And races into his office. Interior Fletcher's office morning. He leans against the door, trying to catch his breath.
Don't panic, you can beat this. It's all a matter of willpower.
He dives for his desk and rifles through it.
Yes, something small. Aha!
He holds up a blue pen.
Red. All right, focus. The color of this pen is... The color of the pen is royal blue. Ah! Oh, one tiny line, I can't say it. I'll write it.
He takes the sheet of paper, the pen, and writes, "This pen is." He tries to write an R, but can't. Then, like a man possessed, the pen pulls his arm one way, then the other, wiping everything off his desk. He grabs his wrist with the other hand and forces it back onto the page.
Get over here right now. Write it. Write it.
He pins his hand down. His hand writes in perfect calligraphy, "Blue."
No, no, no.
Suddenly, the quote-unquote pen goes out of control, begins to write blue on everything. He grabs a legal book and beats his hand over and over, but it keeps writing.
Stop it. Stop it.
Then Fletcher's eyes go wide as the pen turns on him, starts coming after his face. He grabs it, but it pushes its way to his face, and where it writes blue, blue, blue on his forehead, they continue to struggle until Fletcher is forced under his desk. Interior hallway, Greta's desk. Greta hears the noise, gets up. Interior Fletcher's office. Greta enters to find the desk shaking, rumbling. A moment, then Fletcher emerges from underneath. The word blue has been written all over his face.
Boss, what happened?
Pen is blue. The pen is blue. The goddamn pen is blue.
Weeping, he collapses into a chair.
Are you all right, Mr. Reed?
I gotta go home.
Home? Was the case settled?
No, I have to be in court at 1:30.
Well, then how are you going to go home?
I don't know. I don't know.
Fletcher picks his
Okay. Before I forget, Reuben and Dunn called. They want to know where the Darvis settlement offer stands.
I only proposed a settlement to dick with them.
Stick with them. Okay. Your accountant Philip called to remind you about getting together.
I'd rather shave my ass than sit in vinegar. Wow.
Got it? Your mother called again. Are you still on vacation?
No.
So then you're here?
Yes.
Thanks for clearing that up, boss. That's it. Except your ex called and asked when you were coming over to see your son.
Oh, I am such a shit.
Yep.
He reacts, particularly stunned by this truth. Interior Volvo moving, Fletcher's office morning. Audrey is driving Max, who wears his new baseball uniform when her cellular phone rings. Wow. She picks it up. We intercut between car and office.
Audrey.
Hey, Fletcher, I was wondering if you were going to still pick up Max after school today?
Fletcher at his wet bar, rubbing the blue off his face with a wet towel.
Here's the thing. I really can't. I had a case I was certain would settle and it didn't. I have to go to trial this afternoon. God help me.
Right.
It's true. I really want to see Max today.
Fletcher considers what he just said, realizing it is true.
How about that? I really do.
But things keep coming up at the last minute.
Yes, but this time it's different.
I see. And how is that?
Now I'm telling the truth.
But last night you weren't?
No.
What were you doing?
Having sex.
It must have been with somebody very special.
Oh, see, that's the thing. I don't even like her, but she's a partner. I thought I could help my career by making her squeal. I mean, by changing her oil. I mean, by buttering her love muffin.
My God!
She slams down the phone. I don't blame her. Interior, Fletcher's office. Fletcher drops the phone and falls backward on the floor.
Ow, what's wrong with me? I'm getting what I deserve. I'm reaping what I sow.
Fletcher slaps his hand over his mouth and lets out a muffled scream. Exterior, Fulham Kindergarten morning. The Volvo parks. Audrey gets out. She leans over to say goodbye to her son.
Is Dad picking me up?
No, I'm sorry, Max. You can't make it. I will. I'll work it out.
Max is disappointed.
Guess my wish didn't come true.
What wish? What wish?
I wish that for just one day, Dad can tell a lie.
Max heads toward his teacher. Audrey is deeply moved.
Wait, Max. I have something important to tell you.
Interior Fletcher's office. He's on his knees at the wet bar. He dials the phone. Intercut with interior Audrey's car day. Audrey's driving away from Max's school.
Hello?
Audrey, let me explain. Something has happened to me.
Fletcher, something else is about to happen to you. Max and I are moving to Boston.
What?
Jerry asked me to marry him. Max and I are going with him this weekend to look for a house.
I thought it was semi-serious.
Well, it's been given a violent shove into serious.
You can't move to Boston. I'll never see Max.
Well, then you'll have pretty much the same relationship you have with him now.
Audrey, please. Is this because of what I just said on the phone?
That was the straw, and this is the camel with the broken back saying goodbye.
Where are you?
Heading home.
When you get there, just stay there, please. I'll be right over. We have to talk.
Fletcher.
I'll be right there.
Fletcher heads out. Interior hallway. A colleague starts to ask Fletcher a question. Hey, Mr. Reed, Fletcher runs, puts his fingers in his ears, sings loudly as he can't hear anyone else.
La 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 la.
Interior elevator bank. He frantically pushes the elevator button. It arrives. He steps in. Interior elevator. Fletcher breathes a huge sigh of relief. Turns and sees Miranda already in the elevator.
Ah, holy hell!
The door's shut. Fletcher is trapped.
Fletcher, I must confess, after last night's incident, I was hurt. So hurt, I was tempted to do whatever little things lie in my power to scuttle your chances of making partner.
Fletcher is frightened, pushes the lobby button frantically.
But then I thought, no, that's not fair. Fletcher didn't mean to insult me. It was just some massive boneheaded misunderstanding, and Fletcher is very, very sorry.
Fletcher smiles. It looks like he's off the hook. Until...
Isn't that right, Fletcher?
Well, I am sorry I insulted you. That's the truth.
Good.
I should be grateful that you're helping me screw my way to the top.
Oh. Interior lobby elevator bank. We hear a smack. The doors open. Fletcher walks out pissed, holding his freshly slapped face, leaving Miranda stewing. Exterior office parking structured day. Fletcher's car speeds out, almost hits crossing traffic. The driver screams.
What's your problem, schmuck?
I'm an inconsiderate prick.
Interior car day. Fletcher drives like a maniac, gets stuck behind a truck with a bumper sticker that says, "How am I driving?" He can't get around this guy. Fletcher picks up his car phone, angrily dials. Someone on the other end picks up. LTT Trucking.
Too slow, so safe, so good.
He slams down the phone, goes around the van, and runs a red light, passes a police car parked on the side of the road. Fletcher sees a flashing red light in his rearview mirror.
Shit.
Exterior street. Fletcher pulls over. The police officer strolls up.
Do you know why I stopped you?
Depends on how long you were following me.
Why don't we take it from the top?
Here goes. I didn't fasten my seatbelt. I didn't signal when I pulled away from the curb. I sped. I followed too closely. I ran a stop sign. I almost hit a Chevy. I sped some more. I failed to yield at a crosswalk. I changed lanes in the intersection. I changed lanes without signaling while running a red light and speeding.
Is that all?
No. There are unpaid parking tickets.
He punches the glove box button. A ream of parking tickets spill out. Fletcher turns back to the cop.
Be gentle.
Exterior, Audrey's house morning. A cab speeds up to the house. Fletcher runs out. Audrey is headed to her car.
Audrey, wait.
Wait. You know, I just had an insight into myself. I'm crazy. You call me up and tell me to wait here because you'll be right over. And here's the crazy part. I actually wait.
I can explain this, though.
I missed a department meeting. Did you come in a cab?
Yes.
Where's your car?
Uh-oh. Exterior police impound yard morning. Audrey finishes paying the impound yard cashier.
Thank you. I can't tell you how much this means to me.
I can. $1,654.11.
How?
At this moment, we hear a hideous scraping noise, and a tow yard employee whips Fletcher's Mercedes into view and parks, revealing a prominent new scrape on the door.
You scratched my car.
Where?
Right there.
Oh, that was already there.
You liar. Do you know what I'm going to do about this?
What?
Nothing. Because if I take you to small claims court, it will just drain 8 hours of my life, and you probably won't show up. And if I finally got the judgment, you just stiff me anyway. So what I'm going to do is piss and moan like an impotent jerk and then bend over and take it up the tailpipe.
You've been here before, haven't you?
Flips Fletcher the keys and just goes.
Well, I can't remember when I've had more fun. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a class.
She starts out. Fletcher pursues.
Are you marrying this guy because you're mad at me?
No, I divorced you because I was mad at you.
Audrey, wait, I want to talk to you about this.
What do you want to say?
You can't go. It's not fair.
Let's define fair. Last night, a 5-year-old boy was crushed because his father lied to him about coming to his birthday party. Fair?
Last night.
Was none of my business. When it happened 2 years ago, it was my business. But now, I don't have to care anymore. See, that's the magic of divorce. But it does matter to Max. Everything you do matters to him. And everything you don't.
All right, now let me tell you something. I'm a bad father. I mean, I'm a bad father.
Fletcher said this sincerely. Audrey can sense this and feels for him.
You're not a bad father when you show up.
What if I come over right after court lets out and play ball with Max, and then you and I can sit down and talk before you make a rash decision?
We're leaving tonight.
Please, Audrey, give me one more chance. I'm throwing myself on the mercy of the court. I lost you. Don't make me lose Max, too. Give me the chance to be the father I started out to be.
Pause.
You're really coming?
This is ironclad. This is the mother of all promises. What time?
6?
10 to 6.
All right. Only if I tell Max you're coming and you don't show up and I have to see that look on Max's face, that heartbreaking look, it's Boston Fletcher.
If I don't show, I will pack you myself. I will lovingly wrap your knickknacks in bubble paper.
Audrey gets in her car.
I hope so. Do you know what your son was doing at 8:15 last night? He was making a birthday wish that for one day his father couldn't tell a lie.
She drives away. Fletcher starts for his car, pensive, when a new thought strikes him.
Oh my God, that's it. An innocent kid, a heartfelt plea, a birthday wish. It's impossible. It makes sense. If he can wish it, he can unwish it.
Interior school hallway day. Fletcher marches quickly down the hall, cake box under his arm. Interior, Max's kindergarten class day. Miss Barry's reading a story when Fletcher sticks his head in the door.
Excuse me, I'm looking for my son, Max.
Max brightens.
Dad!
Can I borrow him for just 1 sec?
Exterior playground day. They're in the playground just outside the classroom.
Monster Max.
Oh. That's Zilla, you can play catch.
I'd like to, but I can't right now.
Max is disappointed again.
Listen, Max, I've got to talk to you. Your mother told me about that wish you made last night. It came true, Max. Your wish came true.
Max is amazed.
Really? You mean you have to tell the truth?
Yes.
No matter what?
No matter what.
Nice. Max grins.
Is wrestling real?
In the Olympics, yes. On Channel 23, no.
Will sitting too close to the TV set make me go blind?
Not in a million years.
If I keep making this face, will it get stuck that way?
In fact, some people make a very good living that way.
Max is elated.
Hey, everyone! My dad can't lie!
Solve 2. Exterior playground jungle gym. Fletcher is surrounded by a pack of students rapidly rifling off questions so fast he can't even answer. He's backed up against a swing set, trapped.
If I go in the water right after lunch, will I drown?
Can Ebola virus spread in the United States?
Does a tooth fairy exist?
The Easter Bunny?
The boogeyman?
Are there monsters under my bed?
Is there a god?
Are we all gonna die?
Where did babies come from?
No, yes, no, 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 no. Hope so. Not sure. Sorry, but yes. And babies are created through the joining of your mother and father's reproductive systems. Do you understand?
No.
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 Good. Now, if no one has any more questions,
How come you're always too busy to play with me?
The sudden shift in tone startles Fletcher. He feels awful.
excuse us.
He takes Max aside.
Max, I'm sorry. I'm not going to be too busy anymore. I promise. In fact, I'm coming over tonight. We're going to play together.
Baseball?
Yeah, you and me tonight. Doubleheader, no rain delays.
Fletcher and Max do their ritual 5 slap, then each grabs their crutch and spits.
And now listen, Max, you got to do something for me. I need you to take that wish back.
So you can lie?
Right, but not to you. You see, Max, sometimes grown-ups need to lie. It's hard to explain, but look, here's an example. When Mommy was pregnant with you, she gained a good 40 pounds. There was nothing she wouldn't eat. Daddy was scared, but when she asked me, how do I look? I'd say, honey, you're beautiful, you're glowing. If I'd have told her she looked like a cow, I would have hurt her feelings. You understand?
Max nods.
My teacher told me real beauty is on the inside.
That's just something ugly people say. Max, no one can survive in the adult world if they have to stick to the truth. I could lose my case. I could lose my promotion. I could even lose my job. Now I need your help, Max, okay?
Okay.
Great.
Exterior eating area, table. Fletcher opens the box, revealing a cake and candles. He puts a birthday hat on Max and one on himself, then lights the candles.
Now, do whatever you did last night, only this time, make an unwish.
Not really happy, Max turns to the candles on the cake. He takes a breath and blows them out.
I did it.
Excellent. Now I need a little test.
Fletcher spots an attractive female teacher. Fletcher hurries to her and says something. A moment. Then she slaps him. Fletcher returns to his son.
Did it work?
Not like I'd hoped. Did you really unwish it?
Max nods.
Only
What? Only what?
yesterday when I wished it, I really meant it. This time when I unwished it, I only did it because you told me to.
Well, then do it again, only this time mean it.
Can't.
Why not?
Because I don't want you to lie.
I explained this to you. I have to lie. Everybody lies. Mommy lies. Even the wonderful Jerry lies.
You're the only one who makes me feel bad.
Fletcher is stunned by how much this hurts.
Max, recess is over. Come on in.
Mom says we're moving to Boston.
That isn't for sure yet. She promised we'd talk about it when I come over tonight. I am coming. You believe me, don't you?
Max hesitates, then smiles and nods.
I'll see you tonight, buddy. That's a promise. Recording.
Exterior skyscraper day. An upset and preoccupied Fletcher is heading toward his office building when a macho attorney passes by.
Yo, Fletcher, how's it going? How's it hanging?
Short shrivel noise to the left.
Fletcher hurries inside when he spots Philip. He shields his face with his briefcase. Philip recognizes him anyway.
Fletcher, I'm still waiting for your call. I guess you must have lost my card?
No,
Or my phone was busy.
wrong.
Or you just forgot?
Airball.
Well, anyway, why don't you swing by my place?
Philip starts off when Fletcher calls after him resolutely.
Philip, I don't want to come over to your house. I do not want to come over to your house.
A long moment then.
Fine, we'll go out. There's this new country western bar on Main I've been dying to try.
Fletcher runs off. Philip yells after him.
I'll meet you there at 7.
Incredibly frustrated, Fletcher hurries on. Interior office's day. Fletcher drags himself past Greta's desk.
Do you want your messages, boss?
No, no.
He goes into his office. Greta is concerned, follows him in. Interior Fletcher's office. Fletcher collapses on the couch. Greta enters.
Boss, are you all right?
My son hates me.
He loves you. I've seen you together. You're his hero.
Oh, yeah? Last night at his birthday party, he made a wish that I wouldn't be able to tell a lie for one whole day.
Kids.
It came true.
What?
It's true. Didn't it seem odd that I kept telling the truth all morning?
Well, yeah, but what are you trying to say? You're incapable of lying?
That's right. I am incapable of lying.
Just today.
Apparently until 8:15 tonight. It's one of those 24-hour curses.
Yeah, those are going around.
Interior outer office. Miranda is eavesdropping. That is not cool. A wicked gleam in her eye. Interior Fletcher's office.
You don't believe me, do you?
Of course not.
Ugh, how ironic. Okay, ask me something you think I'd normally lie about.
She really thinks.
All right. Remember a few months ago I wanted that raise?
Forget it. I don't want to do this.
And the firm wouldn't give me one?
Greta, please.
Fletcher moans and groans through Greta's next speech.
And I asked if you would give it to me out of your own pocket, and you said the company wouldn't permit it because it creates jealousy among the other secretaries. Was that true? Or did you just not want to pony up the dough?
Oh boy. Interior outer office. Greta empties her personal effects into boxes. She's leaving. Fletcher's on the phone. Looks very harassed.
Greta, wait. Yes, Judge Stevens. Hi, Fletcher Reed. I'm scheduled to be in your court in half an hour. Judge Stevens, I badly need a continuance so I can go home and stay there the rest of the day. Ill? Am I ill? That is the perfect question for you to ask. Greta, please lie to him for me.
Greta holds up a framed photograph.
I remember when you bought me this antique silver frame from Tiffany's. Tiffany's?
Garage sale, $6.50 marked down from 10.
She throws it in the trash and keeps packing.
I'll give you the raise.
Here's your raise.
Hi, Judge Stevens. Yes, I know I haven't given you an answer, but
Phone rings.
illness can mean so many things, and
The phone won't stop ringing.
Can you hold, please? Hello? Mom. Hi. Well, I wasn't actually on vacation because I didn't want to talk to you. Because you insist on talking to me about Dad's bowel movement, size, color, frequency. I'll call you later. I mean, not really, just an expression.
Oh my God. He pushes two buttons and screams.
Damn it, I cut him off. I cut off the judge, Greta.
He falls to his knees.
Greta, don't leave. I'm on my knees in a $900 suit.
Oh, Greta stops, seems to consider.
A few years ago, a friend of mine had a burglar up on her roof.
Yes?
A burglar. He fell through the kitchen skylight and landed on a cutting board on a butcher's knife, cutting his leg. He sued my friend. The burglar sued my friend. Thanks to guys like you, he won. My friend had to pay him $6,000. Is that justice?
No. I'd have got him 10.
Goodbye, Mr. Reed.
She walks away. Fletcher jumps up.
Oh, no, wait. I didn't understand the question.
Have a nice day in court.
Greta.
Fletcher tries to catch her, but he runs directly into Miranda.
Ah, fucking hell.
Miranda smiles like a cat that's trapped a mouse.
Well, it's nice to see you too, Fletcher. Are you busy?
Extremely.
Good. Would you follow me, please?
Highly nervous, Fletcher follows Miranda down the hall.
Fletcher, did you know that the partnership committee is being headed up by Mr. Allen himself? You used to work directly for Mr. Allen, didn't you? Tell me, what do you think of him?
He's a pedantic, pontificating, pretentious bastard, a belligerent old fart, a worthless, steaming pile of cow dung, figuratively speaking.
How delightful.
She swings open a door, ushering Fletcher into the funniest scene in the movie. Interior conference room day. The room is filled with attorneys, including Mr. Allen, the founder himself. Fletcher freezes.
Pardon me for interrupting your meeting. Mr. Allen, you remember Fletcher Reed?
It's good to see you again, Fletcher.
An involuntary whimper from Fletcher.
You know, Fletcher was just telling me how much he thought of you. why don't you tell Mr. Allen? What do you think of him?
Fletcher gulps. This is it. His career is history. He's trying to hold it back. But
He's a pedantic, pontificating, pretentious bastard, a belligerent old fart, a worthless, steaming pile of cow dung, figuratively speaking.
dead silence. There is a long pause. Everyone looks at Mr. Allen, not sure what to do. Then Mr. Allen begins to laugh uproariously.
That's a good
Joker.
one. That's the funniest damn thing I've ever heard. You're a real card, Reed. I love a good roast, Drew Simmons.
Okay, Mr. Simmons, you're too old. You should have retired a decade ago. I don't understand why you don't die.
Oh my God. Mr. Allen can't contain his laughter. Mr. Simmons starts laughing. Everyone joins in. Fletcher seizes the moment and takes over.
And you, Tom, you are the biggest kiss ass I've ever seen. You've got your head so far at Mr. Allen's ass, sometimes I can't tell where you end and he begins.
Priceless.
You have bad breath caused by gingivitis. You couldn't get a porno star off. Your hairpiece looks like a dead squirrel that was scraped off the highway. Loser, idiot, wimp, degenerate, slut.
Select. Everyone's laughing.
I'm not kidding. I hate you people. I hate all of you.
The room explodes in laughter.
I like your style, Reed. That's just what this stuffy place needs. A little irreverence.
Miranda is incensed.
Good. See you later, dickhead.
Fletcher exits.
Dickhead, priceless.
Oh,
Interior hallway continuous. Beautiful. Fletcher exits the conference room, closes the door, and faints. Interior courtroom afternoon. Close up on Fletcher, seated alone at a table. His hands are on his face. He looks totally dazed. At the other table sit Dana Appleton and Mr. Cole.
All rise.
They do. Judge Stevens enters. He sits. Everyone sits.
Counselors, are we ready to begin?
no, sir. We're not ready to begin. My client hasn't arrived.
The door opens and Virginia Cole enters with her children and a nanny. The nanny, Lupe, carries a 3-year-old girl and holds the hand of a 6-year-old boy.
Hurry up! Move it! Move it!
Fletcher hears her and blurts out a song a la Mickey Mouse.
Here she comes to wreck the day.
Judge
Reed.
Devil.
Sorry, Your Honor.
Virginia hustles the kids to their seats.
I'm tired. Lupe, you keep him quiet. I'm not even close to kidding. Sorry. Billy threw up in the car.
Nice try, Billy.
Virginia takes her seat.
You brought your kids to your divorce?
Sympathy.
It's working. I feel sorry for them already.
The judge bangs the gavel.
Miss Appleton, you may begin.
Cut to. Interior courtroom later. Dana Appleton questions Bryson, a private investigator. Fletcher watches them mounting anxiety, nervously drinks from a glass of water at his table.
From March 6th through June 12th, I surveilled Mrs. Cole at the behest of Mr. Cole. During that period, I noted that Mr. Cole left each day between 7:40 and the 7:50. Thereafter, Mrs. Cole would frequently have a male visitor arrive and stay for 1 to 4 hours. I was able to take several photographs of the male visitor.
He shows several photographs of Virginia and a man caught in an embrace.
I also made this recording.
Dana hits a button on a tape recorder.
Oh, yes! Yes! Do it to me! Do it again! Oh, not in there! Oh, not in there! Oh, girl has to say something. Yes! Yes! Yes!
I'll have what he's having. People react to Virginia's climax. All are caught up in the moment. A bead of sweat drips down the bailiff's forehead.
Oh, come on. Your Honor, how can it be proved that the male voice in that tape is not Mr. Cole himself?
Oh my God, you are such a better lover than my husband!
Thanks. Well, I've got to go. I still haven't cleaned your pool.
I object, Your Honor,
Why is that, Mr. Reed?
because it's devastating to my case.
Just start the scandal.
Overruled.
Good call.
Everyone stares at Fletcher. He takes another big gulp of water.
You're a witness.
Fletcher anxiously downs the glass.
All right, Mr. Reed. You may proceed.
How?
Gathering his courage, he stands, downs the last of his water, and moves to the lectern. He's about to speak when a wonderful feeling sweeps through him. After a moment, he grins.
Your Honor, would the court be willing to grant me a short bathroom break?
It can't wait.
Yes, it can. But I've heard that if you hold it, you can damage the prostate gland, making it very difficult to get an erection or even become aroused.
Is that true?
It has to be.
Whenever I take a little break myself. You get back here immediately so we can finish this.
The judge gets up and retires to chambers. Fletcher beams and races out. Interior restroom day. Fletcher stands before the urinal, taking the longest leak in legal history. Relief.
How am I going to get out of this?
He knocks his head against the tiles above the urinal.
Think. Ow!
Suddenly, he gets an idea. He hits himself again and again, smashes his head into the paper towel dispenser, puts liquid soap in his eye, pulls clumps of hair out of his head, sticks his head in the toilet, and smashes the seat on it. Finally, he throws himself back and forth against the walls of the cubicle, tearing at his own clothing. A man watches Fletcher's self-mutilation.
What the hell are you doing, man?
I'm kicking my ass. Do you mind?
Fletcher stomps on his own toe and screams.
Damn it!
He starts to choke himself with his own tie and runs into the wall. The man slowly backs out of the bathroom. Oh my God. Fletcher continues the beating. Interior courtroom day. The judge is pissed. Suddenly, the bailiff helps in the severely beaten Fletcher. The entire courtroom is shocked. I found him like this in the bathroom. Somebody beat the hell out of him.
Who did this?
A madman, Your Honor. A desperate fool at the end of his pitiful rope.
What'd he look like?
About 6'2", 180 pounds, big teeth, kind of gangly.
Bailiff had the deputy search the building.
A hubbub arises. He bangs the gavel.
Under circumstances, I have no choice but to recess this case until tomorrow morning at 9.
Fletcher smiles serenely. Until
Unless, of course, you think you can still proceed.
Fletcher tries to avoid answering, but he can't repress the truth.
Can you?
Yes, I can.
I admire your courage, Mr. Reed. I'll give you a few minutes to compose yourself, and then we'll get started.
Fletcher looks at it as if he was just been sentenced to death. Exterior courthouse steps day. Fletcher sits on the courthouse steps, miserable. Phone rings.
Hello?
Intercut with Max at home. Audrey is there.
Dad?
Max, how's it going?
Great. You know Paul and Emmanuel from across the street?
The twins.
Well, they never want to play baseball with me, but I told them I was going to play that with my dad, so now they want to play with us. Is it okay?
Sure.
Cool. You still want to be Jose Canseco?
Sure. Who else is going to hit that famous Nomo slider? I got to go now, Max. I'll see you in 2 hours.
Max hangs up.
He's really coming.
She smiles, and but she's worried. Exterior courthouse steps. Virginia approaches with her pool man, Lawrence Falk, a Joey Buttafuoco type.
Mr. Reed, you remember Lawrence Falk, the man from the tape?
How can I forget?
How you doing?
I slipped into the 7th circle of hell. Thank you. And you?
Virginia exchanges an anxious look with Falk.
Shouldn't we go over our testimony?
Basically, the plan is I walk you through the tape step by step. I ask you questions.
And we give the explanation you came up with.
Exactly.
So all we gotta do is lie. Sounds simple enough.
Doesn't it? And I'll finish up with a dramatic series of questions. Something like, Mr. Falk, isn't it true that you and Mrs. Cole have never made...
Fletcher gags. He can't get the question out. The others look concerned, but he waves them off.
I'm fine. Mr. Falk, isn't it true that you and Mrs. Cole have never made...
To his horror, he gags again, unable to form the final word.
Oh my God, I can't do it. I can't finish the question if I know the answer is a lie.
Are you all right?
I'm fine. I need to relax, breathe deeply and calmly, and ask you this question.
Fletcher breathes in and tries again.
Mr. Falk, isn't it true that you and Mrs. Cole have never made
He tries with all of his might. Suddenly, Fletcher gags, leans over the railing, and pukes into the bushes. At this moment, Miranda and Mr. Allen come up the steps. They've seen what happened.
Little courtroom jitters, eh, Fletcher? It's a good sign. I used to get him myself.
Fletcher weakly wipes his mouth.
I just want you to know I'll be observing this afternoon. Miranda insisted. I see you in action. Go get him, son.
Go get him. Fletcher shoots Miranda a hateful look and a series of nasty gestures. Interior courtroom day. The judge settles in. Mr. Allen and a smug Miranda look on from the gallery.
You may proceed, Mr. Reed.
Everyone turns to Fletcher in anticipation, in a voice quaking with fear.
Respondent calls Lawrence Falk.
Fletcher clears his throat. Here goes.
Mr. Falk, do you know my client, Virginia Cole?
Yes.
Isn't it true that your relationship with my client is entirely platonic? I object, Your Honor.
To yourself?
Yes, but I would like to rephrase the question. Mr. Falk, would I be accurate if I described your relationship with Mrs. Cole as totally professional? I object, Your Honor. I move to strike.
Mr. Reed, I don't know what you're on, but you better get to the point and quick.
Thank you, sir. Is your relationship with my client entirely platonic? Not. Is not your relationship with my client entirely platonic? Did you ever not ever make
Mr. Reed!
You had sex with her every time you met, didn't you? Didn't you?
Falk starts to speak.
Liar!
He's badgering the witness.
You slammed her. You dunked your donut. You gave her dog a sausage. You stuffed it like a Thanksgiving turkey.
Yes, it's true. I fucked her brains out. A gasp from the audience. All eyes are on Fletcher.
No further questions.
No questions.
Do I dare ask you to call your next witness?
I have no further witnesses, Your Honor.
What are you doing? Call me.
You don't understand. I cannot lie. I cannot be dishonest in any way until 8:15 tonight.
Grabs him by the tie, pulls him close to her face.
Listen, you bastard. I want my money. I'm not going to wind up a 31-year-old divorcee on welfare because my scumbag attorney had a sudden attack of conscience.
Fletcher suddenly stops, focused on something Virginia said.
31?
Fletcher quickly looks up at the blow-up of Virginia's prenup and her passport.
Well, if Mr. Reed has no further witnesses, then I have no choice but to rule in favor of...
Your Honor, I call Virginia Cole to the stand.
Another murmur in the crowd.
Order. Order! Mr. Reed, sheer morbid curiosity that I'm allowing this freak show to continue. Cole, if you dare.
Virginia makes her way up.
What's he doing?
Kissing his career goodbye.
The bailiff stands before the witness. No.
Ah, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do. I mean...
I do.
Fletcher grabs Virginia's license from the evidence table. He approaches, confident now, cocky.
Mrs. Cole, is this your driver's license?
Yes,
Can you tell the court what color your eyes are, please?
they're blue.
Really? What if I asked you to remove your contact lenses? What color would they be then?
Brown.
And here it says you're a blonde, are you? If you don't remember, perhaps Mr. Falk will.
Brunette. I'm a brunette.
Thank you. Now let's see. Weight 105. Please, in your bra.
118. 126, I swear.
So on this single document, you basically lied at every opportunity. I'm sure a woman as vain as you would also lie about her age. It says you were born in 1964, but that's not the truth either, is it? Is it?
No.
Can you tell me what it says here on your birth certificate under date of birth?
I object, Your Honor. What does this have to do with anything?
Overruled. Answer the question, Mrs. Cole.
To the court.
1965.
Now, let me get this straight. That would mean you lied about your age to make yourself older. Why would any woman want to do that?
I changed it so I could get married.
And the truth shall set you free. My client lied about her age. She was only 17 when she got married, which makes her a minor. And in the great state of California, no minor can enter into any legal contract without parental consent, including
Prenuptial agreements.
prenuptial agreements. This contract is void. The fact that my client has been ridden more than Seattle Slew is irrelevant. Standard community property applies, and this woman is entitled to half of the marital assets, or $22.395 million. Nothing further, Your Honor. Swish!
Overtakes the room.
Quiet! Can you see the license and birth certificate?
All is quiet while the judge reviews the documents. And then...
In light of this new evidence, the court must rule in favor of the defense. Mrs. Colby is here awarded half of the marital assets.
He bangs the gavel. The courtroom erupts. Fletcher's won! Dana, Mr. Cole are devastated.
That son of a bitch pulled it off.
Mr. Allen gives Fletcher the thumbs up. Miranda looks very upset.
What the hell is going on? I didn't know she was underage.
Doesn't matter. The contract's void.
Order. Order. I understand both parties have agreed to joint custody. Is that correct?
Yes.
No. I'm contesting custody.
Jesus.
What?
If I get sole custody of the kids, I could make another 10 grand a month in child support payments.
You just won $20 million.
You said it yourself. I'm the victim here. Now I'm going to hit him where it hurts.
But you said he was a good father.
To read. Do we have an agreement on custody or not?
Stressed look at the children.
No.
In that case, there will be a custody hearing on the 19th at 9 a.m. Court is adjourned.
Bangs the gavel. Everyone gets up, but Fletcher's attention is drawn to a commotion between Virginia and her kids.
Stop that. We're leaving now. I want to go with Daddy. You stop crying. I'll give you a reason to cry, Lupe.
He runs to his father. Fletcher watches horrified as she drags the child away from their tearful father.
Daddy!
Don't worry. I promise we'll be together. Whatever I have to do.
No, Jeremy. Anyway, Mr. Cole is pained as his children are all sobbing. Fletcher is in pain as he watches the nanny separate the children from their father. Fletcher can't keep his eyes off the kids.
I love children. They give you so much leverage in a case like this. You did an incredible job out there, partner.
Mr. Allen shakes Fletcher's hand. Fletcher stares at his hand in horror, like he's shaking hands with the devil.
Look, he's stunned. He can't believe it.
Judge Stevens stands up to leave the bench. Fletcher recoils from his boss.
Your Honor, may I please approach the bench?
We're adjourned, Mr. Reed.
Fletcher charges up to the judge anyway.
Your Honor, I think we've made a big mistake.
Mr. Reed, I'm very tired and cranky.
I know, but this is just wrong, isn't it? I mean, I manipulated the system. Just because I'm good at it doesn't mean I'm right. It's a technicality.
Young man, having my judgment mocked in open court by a winning counsel is not something I am prepared to tolerate.
Where's Yitzhak Perlman when you need him? Maybe he can tell it to the kids when they become the children of the corn. I wish I hadn't said that.
Mr. Reed, one more word and I will hold you in contempt.
I hold myself in contempt. Why should you be any different?
Bailiff, take him away.
The bailiff starts off after Fletcher.
This man is a good father, and children are not leverage.
The bailiff grabs Fletcher and forcibly drags him out.
No, don't do this. I've got a date to play ball with my son. I can't be late. It's my last chance. I'm Jose Canseco. I'm Jose Canseco.
And Fletcher's gone, leaving everyone thinking he's cuckoo. Exterior, Audrey's porch day. A sad Max is seated on the steps. Two other boys are there with baseball equipment.
We're going home.
Yeah, thanks for the great game, Max.
Emmanuel knocks Max's hat off. Audrey's been watching from the door. She goes and sits by her son.
Max, honey, your dad had a very big case today. It probably just...
Don't want to talk about it.
Audrey sees that look.
How about I take you to a ball game?
Tonight?
No, tomorrow in Boston.
They go in the house. Interior jail area. Fletcher's handcuffed and is led to a jail by two officers.
Phone call. I get to make a phone call.
Interior Audrey's house day. Audrey is locking up. Still upset, she angrily shuts off the lights, closes the blinds.
And I could get a sled for when it snows?
Of course she'll get a sled. It's a necessity in New England. You okay with this?
Are you?
I'm fine. This will be great. Jerry's great. Ready?
Phone rings. She answers it.
Hello?
Interior jail. Intercut, Fletcher and Audrey.
Audrey, it's me.
Audrey starts to hang up.
For the love of God, don't hang up.
I can't talk now, Fletcher. Our flight leaves at 8.
What?
I saw that look again. I'm taking Max where you can't do that to him anymore.
Audrey, wait, the most amazing things happened to me. I swear I'm a changed man. Just come to the courthouse with $1,000 and bail me out. Hello? One more call. I need another call.
Interior jail cell day. Fletcher is pacing back and forth, panting to himself like a street person. A group of tough prisoners are on the far side of the cell, watching this lunatic.
Money has become our God. We're willing to sell our soul for the almighty buck. We've perverted ourselves into thinking that the material things we leave behind are more important than the people in our lives. Yes, it's all about love, man. We just want to be loved.
Why
don't you shut up?
Of course you'd like me to shut up because what I'm saying confronts you in some way.
The fuck are you talking about, man?
You're obviously harboring feelings of abandonment, and by intimidating me, you hope to gain acceptance with your peers.
I said shut up.
Don't you see anger isn't a feeling? It keeps you from feeling. Where do you hurt? Tell me. It's okay.
The huge prisoner grabs Fletcher by the throat and pins him against the wall. The other prisoners laugh and Fletcher is about to get his ass whipped, but then we hear another voice. My mother left me when I was 4. Everyone turns to see another tough prisoner stepping forward. That's when I started getting in trouble. I just wanted attention. Fletcher is moved.
It's all right. Let it out. You're with friends.
Dissolved to interior prison holding cell later. A big black eye is crying on Fletcher's shoulder.
That's it. Doesn't the truth feel good?
The prisoner nods.
You see, when you stabbed that man 97 times, you were really stabbing yourself.
Uh-huh.
Okay, everyone, group hug.
They all make a one big group hug until a deputy appears.
Mr. Reed,
Fletcher turns.
you made bail. Some woman.
Interior outer area. Fletcher rushes in, looking around.
Audrey?
He sees Greta.
Greta!
Am I too late? Have you been sexually molested yet? Because I could circle the block.
Greta, I've learned the most amazing thing. I'm insecure and immature, so I attempt to overachieve in order to feel good about myself at the expense of everyone around me. How did you know I was here?
One of the other secretaries called me at home. They said you went on Noble.
Yeah.
Listen, tomorrow you'll call Mr. Allen, you'll give him a snow job, you'll be a fair-haired boy again. I know you.
I'm thinking of opening my own little practice. You know, help people who really need it.
Really?
See if there's a soul left in here to salvage. Oh man, I have to go. Audrey's on her way to the airport, and she and the boyfriend are going to buy a house in Boston together, and I'm going to lose Max forever. Thanks, Greta.
Fletcher, what do you really think of me?
Pause.
You know, I have to tell the truth.
She nods.
I think you're wonderful.
He hugs her.
Aww.
Oh, he hugs her and leaves her, feeling very, very happy. Interior car. Moments later, Fletcher drives like a maniac down a busy freeway.
Don't worry, Max. Daddy's coming.
But he soon hits a snarl of traffic. Seen that way. Cars are moving, but very slowly.
Come on, come on.
He notices cars passing him in the carpool lane where there are signs that clearly state minimum 2 passengers. Fletcher turns to the left, gets in the diamond lane for a second, but then involuntarily jerks the wheel, causing the car to squeal out of the diamond lane back into traffic. He tries again and again, but each time he is forced back. A motorcycle cop watches this game of bob and weave and takes off in pursuit. Fletcher soon spots the flashing lights.
Shit.
Cut to exterior freeway day. Fletcher's parked now. The officer approaches.
Step out of the car, please.
Fletcher obeys.
I'm sorry. I know I haven't been driving nicely, but I have a terrible emergency.
I'm impounding this vehicle.
What for?
I ran you through the computer. You've got 17 unpaid parking tickets.
No, I paid them this morning, I swear.
Not according to the computer.
The computer's wrong. It hasn't been updated. I paid these tickets like 8 hours ago.
You can straighten it out at the impound yard.
Fletcher's frustrated beyond belief.
No!
No?
That's right, no. I'm not going to lose my son because some stupid clerk was too lazy to update the computer. Now, if you want to follow me, you can follow me and take the car after I get where I'm going. I'm a lawyer and I know my rights, understand?
A tow truck drives away with Fletcher's car, leaving Fletcher stranded. Exterior city streets payphone day. Fletcher digs through the yellow pages, finds airport taxi. Yes, he fishes for change. Shit, he doesn't have any.
No!
He spots a man walking by.
Excuse me, sir, do you have any?
This man turns. It's the same beggar Fletcher was rude to outside the courthouse.
Change? Absolutely.
He continues walking.
Could you spare some?
Unquestionably.
The beggar continues on.
All right, I get your point. But this is a crisis. Well, I'll give you $10.
The beggar pulls out a quarter and holds it up.
I'd like to give it to you, but how do I know you're not going to use it to buy drugs? I just want to get from the curb to my shopping cart without having to witness its depth of your sorrow. Plus, I'm cheap.
Oh, well. Fletcher opens his wallet.
All right, 20.
It's so shiny and new.
30.
Minted in Denver. Imagine that.
34. That's all I have.
A moment as the beggar thinks, then snatches the money and gives up the quarter.
God, I live for moments like this.
Jerk off.
Lawyer.
True. Interior cab company day. An operator answers the switchboard. Airport taxi. Interior phone booth. Fletcher is talking to the cab company.
I need a taxi to the airport right away. I'm at the corner of 6th and Oak. $40? Okay.
Fletcher hangs up and sets out on foot. He soon sees a ready teller machine. He races to it. Exterior ready teller. Moments later, Fletcher takes his cash from the machine. A large brute wearing a ski mask appears from behind Fletcher, puts him in a headlock, and pulls him into the alley. Give me your money!
Please don't do this. I need the money. I have to see my... Say it again.
I said, give me your money!
Wait a second. Dan? Dan Pittard?
Yeah?
It's me, Fletcher Reed, your lawyer.
Dan takes off his ski mask. It's the large brute that Fletcher got off in the beginning of the film. Fletcher, my man, how's it going?
Oh, thank God. Can I have my money back, please? I'm in a rush to get to the airport.
Sure, you won't tell anybody about this, right? Fletcher pauses. Here it comes. He has to tell the truth.
Well, actually, I will, yes.
What? You're gonna turn me in? Fletcher nods. That was a big mistake. Now I'm gonna have to kill you.
Today, I would expect nothing less.
Dan starts beating the shit out of Fletcher. He tosses him into the ground of garbage cans, then dives after him. Dan is about to finish him off with a huge punch. Suddenly, both Fletcher's hands come up with the garbage can lids in each hand. He crashes them against David's head like cymbals. Dan goes down and out. Fletcher takes his money back.
I need that money to see my kid.
Fletcher races off in time and sees his taxi driving away. He runs after it.
Stop! I'm here, stop!
The taxi speeds off. Fletcher slumps over out of breath, defeated. Then a car bears down on him. It skids to a stop inches from Fletcher. A man gets out. It is Philip. dressed in a very silly looking cowboy outfit.
Hey, partner. Sorry I'm late.
Fletcher looks up. He's standing right in front of the country western bar Philip invited him to.
What happened to you? You can't go line dancing looking like that.
Interior, Philip's car, early evening. Philip's driving Fletcher.
You're saving my life, Philip.
You know, it's funny, but for some reason I was beginning to think you didn't like me. Isn't that silly?
No, it's not silly. I don't like you.
What?
I don't like you. I'm sorry. I find you boring. You whine too much. I hate charades and I hate country music. I'm sorry. It was easier than telling you how I really felt. Are you upset?
A moment, then.
No. To be honest, I don't like you either. You treat people like obstacles and you cheat at charades.
Then why are you always trying to socialize with me?
You're a client. I figured if I didn't try to be your friend, you'd get a new accountant.
Philip, I don't like you as a person, but I'm crazy about you as an accountant. I'd never hire a new accountant. Never.
So we don't have to like each other anymore?
Not at all.
All right. Sooner I get you to the airport, sooner I can dump your sorry ass.
Nice. Interior LAX terminal, early evening. Audrey and Max find Jerry waiting for them as they arrive at the boarding gate. Max is wearing his new baseball glove. Jerry is very happy to see them.
Hey, there you are. Just made it. Whoa, you brought your glove. I don't know if they'll let us play on the plane. Oh, look what I got for you. A Red Sox hat.
He puts it on Max's head.
Thanks.
I'm so glad you're here.
He gives her a peck on the lips. She seems tense. Flight 61 to Boston, now boarding. The announcement almost seems to make Audrey jump.
Well, that's us. Are you okay?
I'm fine, great, ready to go.
Jerry looks at her, a little concerned as they start to board. Exterior airport, early evening. Philip's car skids to a stop. Fletcher opens the door.
Thank you, Philip.
Go get him, pal. I mean, business associate.
Philip drives off. Fletcher runs into the terminal. Interior terminal continuous. Fletcher races in, checks the departure board.
Be delayed. Be delayed.
It reads, Flight 1511 departs 8 o'clock p.m. on time, gate 23. Fletcher looks at the clock. It's 7:56. Holy shit! Fletcher takes off, runs right through the metal detector, but sets off the alarm.
Ah!
Please step through again.
Fletcher frantically tosses his keys, a pen, his Rolex watch into a tray. He tries again. No alarm. Wow. The inspector turns to hand Fletcher back to his things, but Fletcher's gone. Interior plain day. Jerry, Audrey, and Max are seated near the bulkhead. Audrey quickly to a magazine, still very nervous.
That Evelyn Wood course really paid off, huh?
Huh?
Flight attendant interrupts.
Do you like anything to drink before takeoff?
Yes, anything with liquor.
Audrey.
I'm fine.
Okay.
As you wish. He sets back and looks at her. He's troubled. Interior terminal, early evening. Fletcher is pushing his way on one of those crowded people movers.
Excuse me. Staying on the right, passing on the left. They can't make this any easier than it is. Come on.
At the end, a woman in a nurse's uniform asks for money.
Help the poor.
I don't trust you. I don't know what the hell that uniform is. Sorry. Not now, Toga Boy.
Interior gate 23, early evening. Fletcher runs to the gate. His eyes go wide. Fletcher's POV. The plane is taxiing away from the gate.
No. You have to stop the plane.
I'm sorry, it's too late.
Fletcher spots a door marked "Not an exit."
Look out. Nothing's coming.
Not the first time you've done that. The woman raises her eyebrows and looks away, and Fletcher bolts through the exit, just like Dumb and Dumber. Exterior tarmac day. He scurries down a flight of stairs, calling after the plane, which is moving away.
Wait.
But there's no way he'll catch it. Then he sees a mechanic working on a mobile stairs unit. Fletcher gets an insane idea. The worker hears an engine start, looks up to see Fletcher in the stairs, driving off, towing the stairs.
Hey.
But Fletcher's gone. Exterior, airplane, day. Fletcher's driving the stairs, trying to catch up with the plane. Ground workers react. Interior tower, same time. An air traffic controller's mouth drops when he sees the stairs and Fletcher racing alongside the plane.
Security, we've got a situation here. Someone's just hijacked a flight of stairs.
Airport security vehicles take off in pursuit. Back on the runway, Fletcher's too slow to see in the plane. So he climbs the steps. He's about 30 feet from the plane and tries to get the pilot's attention.
Pull over! Pull this thing over!
He catches the pilot's attention. The pilot doesn't know what the hell's going on, but he's not stopping. Fletcher steers the stairs toward the plane. Interior airplane day moving. Passengers calmly read while Fletcher speeds along outside their windows.
Max! Max!
The passengers are unaware of his presence, reading, chatting away. Exterior tarmac day. Fletcher is banging on the windows. Fletcher's at the front of the plane, where he finally spots Max, Audrey, and Jerry. Almost said Wesley. Interior plane, same time. Audrey downs her drink. Jerry watches her, knows something's wrong.
Audrey, I love you.
Oh, thank you.
That wasn't the answer I was looking for.
Oh, thank you very much.
Audrey, be honest. You wouldn't by any chance be doing this because you're mad at Fletcher, would you?
Audrey starts to deny it, but then can't. But before she can speak, Jerry registers a look of shock.
It's Fletcher.
No, it's not. It's...
No.
Jerry points to the window. Audrey turns, shouts in fear.
Ah!
Dad?
Exterior tarmac continuous. Fletcher is waving to Max. He looks possessed.
Hi, Max. I made it. I'm late, but I made it.
What's he doing?
He came to see us off. Wave.
Max wave. She's staring in disbelief. Exterior tarmac continuous. The plane begins to accelerate. The second wing flies toward him from behind. At the last possible moment, he lowers the stairs and just avoids being whacked by the wing. The jet is over him as he rides, barely fitting under the wing. He manages to accelerate the stairs and to stay even with interior plane continuous. Fletcher's face rises up at the window again.
Oh, good. He's back.
Exterior plane continuous. Fletcher tries to keep the stairs even with the plane.
This is the new Fletcher Reed, Max. Eddie made it.
Interior plane continuous. Jerry sees something in the distance.
Look out!
Fletcher turns and reacts in horror. Exterior plane continuous. Fletcher's eyes go wide. Fletcher's POV, the runway is ending. Exterior plane continuous. At that instant, the plane makes a sharp turn, but the stairs do not. They keep going straight, heading right for the end of the runway and a parked loaded luggage cart. And bam! Fletcher, the stairs, and the luggage all go flying. Audrey strains to watch as Fletcher lands hard onto a mountain of baggage. Close on Fletcher. With all the strength he has, he lifts his head and sees in one piece and then collapses. Exterior airport runway later. Buzzing with activity. Cops, paramedics, airport security. The plane has been pulled over and the passengers mill about the runway. Jerry, Max, and Audrey make their way through the swarm. We see Fletcher lying on the stretcher, handcuffed. A cop tries to stop them.
That's far enough, folks.
He's my husband. I mean, he was.
Well, he could still be alive. I've seen things.
Audrey sees that Fletcher isn't moving. She's worried that Fletcher might be seriously hurt and doesn't want to bring Max over there.
Max, stay here with Jerry. I'll be right back.
She hurries over to Fletcher, who's lying flat on the tarmac. His legs are going in strange directions.
Audrey, good news. Both my legs are broken, so they can't take me right to jail.
Are you in a lot of pain?
No, the doctor says I'm in shock, but in about an hour, he says the pain will be excruciating. How was your flight?
It was aborted. Thank you.
You still get the
Does he have
mileage?
a head injury?
No, I'm thinking clear. I've never been this clear. Everything's changed. I'm
Look up and see Max, who has come over with Jerry.
Getting kind of upset.
Are
Max.
you alright?
No, I'm hurting here.
Max doesn't understand as he touches his heart.
I'm a dope, Max. I'm a big fat dope. All this time you've been here and I could see you anytime I felt like it and I didn't. Then your mom told me you were moving to Boston and I started to think I could be sitting around sometime and want to look at you and hold you and play with you and I won't be able to. I don't think I'm going to do too well with that, Max. I love you more than anything else in the world and you know it's true. I couldn't say it if it wasn't true, not today.
He struggles to sit up. He takes Max's hand.
I love you and I'll never hurt you again. Please don't move to Boston. Please give me another chance.
Fletcher looks at Max's watch. It's 8:22.
He's telling the truth. Mom, he's not allowed to lie. I made a wish and anything Dad says today has to be the truth, right?
Max, it's 8:22. You made the wish at 8:15. I've been able to lie for the last 7 minutes.
Max steps away from Fletcher.
So then you were...
No, it was the truth. I just wanted to be honest with you and tell you. You just have to believe I love you and that I've changed.
A beat as Max thinks. Then he turns to Audrey.
Mom, do we have to go to Boston?
No, we don't have to.
Max hugs Fletcher. Fletcher holds on with all his might. Audrey smiles warmly, puts her arm around Jerry.
Alright, new plan. I keep my old job, and instead of courting your son, I spend more time courting you. Looks like he's got his father back anyway.
Audrey smiles.
Can we play catch when you're better?
They begin wheeling the stretcher toward an ambulance.
What's wrong with right now?
The fuck?
Anyway, Max beams, takes a ball out of his pocket. Fletcher holds up his hands in a catching position. Max tosses the ball. Fletcher catches it. Fletcher, as he's being wheeled, tosses it back. Max catches it. They toss back and forth until Fletcher is in the ambulance. Fletcher's last throw comes out of the ambulance just before the doors close. Max and Audrey watch as the ambulance drives away. Way to go, Jeremy. Interior restaurant day. Written on the screen, 1 year later, this is a kid's Chuck E. Cheese type restaurant. It's Max's birthday party. Kids, noise, pizza, etc. Max looks a little upset. We see Jerry sit down next to him and try to cheer him up.
Come on, Max. Sometimes people get held up. If someone's a little late, doesn't mean they're not going to be here.
No.
Angle on Fletcher. He's handing out slices of pizza to Max's friends. Fletcher is in very good spirits.
She'll be here. You know your mother. She's always busy. She's always on the run. Come on, who's up for a triple bypass?
Oh, God. Fletcher holds up a slice of pizza just above the reach of the children. Audrey rushes in frantically.
Max, I'm sorry. The parking lot at work was blocked and I couldn't get out.
Right.
She kisses Max. Max smiles.
Hi. Everything okay? I'm sorry I'm late.
He's only going to be 7 once, you know. If you can't take the time to be at his birthday.
He smiles. She realizes she's being teased.
Did you guys pick up the cake?
The cake!
Oh my God!
We did order a really funny looking pizza, though.
Sure enough, there's a big cake on the table. She smacks both of them. Then goes to Max.
You're all right. For a lawyer.
You're not too bad yourself for a compromise.
Audrey sets the cake down.
Oh, picture.
Jerry aims the camera. Max is a little pensive.
Hey, Dad. Bobby just said there's no such thing as Santa Claus. Doesn't Santa exist?
Truth? You bet he does.
Smile.
Smiles, a knowing smile. Max grins happily aside him. Freeze. The end.
Aww. How cute.
Brilliant. All right. Well, thank you to those who just witnessed this greatness, and good night.